All right, welcome back. SWR 77, Star Wars Racing Incorporated. All right, day two. Continue to document Project 88. So yesterday, just you saw what happened. You took the tires off, just started checking things here, of course. Just looking for obvious. Having looked underneath a little bit, looks really good underneath. No rust on this car. I mean, I had checked that out when I bought it too, but just good to see it's really beautiful underneath. So very happy with that. So then, obviously, then start focusing on the engine bay, which is the first thing we're gonna do is obviously get the car started. So yeah, just checking for everything. What's there, what's not there. So connector here. This is the water temp. Needs the connector here. Also, there's a hose goes from here to over here. Also, that's missing. That's another hose that goes from there to there. Back here also, an important water hose is missing. They're supposed to go right there. This hose is supposed to go over there. So just stuff like that, right? So things, writing them down, of course, making sure that we keep track of all that and buy the proper hoses and things like that. Also, probably checking hoses that are there, but it's a good idea to replace them, right? This one, for example, is kind of too short, so we're gonna get a new one as well. I think this one's a little cracked, right? This is something we're gonna change for sure. Your clutch master here, we're gonna change that. Also the slave, of course, but this one not always. But again, I mean, we'll keep it as a backup because it's not leaking or anything like that. It's just kind of corroded on the outside. We're already sprayed. Also, one of the things I did is I looked everywhere there was any corrosion. There was no WD-40 and all, heavy. This was kind of looking like that. Not so much corroded, just water, had water in it. So WD-40 takes all that off. Also, some of the bolts that we're going to be removing. It's a good time at the beginning. Go ahead and WD-40 those guys so they'll be nice and soft or softer. So again, hoses, just start checking what's there, what's not there. Obviously, the engine's just sitting here. We need to still put the transmission, make sure we secure the engine here on the engine mounts. And just checking things, for example, went ahead and took out the throttle body. So you can see there that is black in the intake. Absolutely black. Now the car's been sitting for many years, so not calling anybody out, but so the kind of things, on my cars, I make sure this is very, very clean, of course. Here's the throttle body here. You can also see it's pretty black. It's supposed to be like bronze. But it might have not even been the one that was in the car because the car, again, it's broken down. It's sitting for many years. So, but we're going to put a new throttle body in it. We'll clean this one out. At some point, we'll test it out. I think it was supposed to not be working correctly. So we'll see. We had like 3 other ones here. We'll put one of the ones we know works. And that way, when we're going to turn the car over, we know it's not the throttle body, right? Same thing for the MAF sensor. So this is the one that was in the car. Supposedly also not working. So I had this one that I got from recent parts that I bought. I got this one free actually because they have broken the connector here. I think the person thought that that's how you remove the cable. So they took the bolts out and then trying to yank it out and just yanked the whole thing out. But now we're gonna scavenge this one here, get the connector and put it here, and it should work, right? So we're gonna clean this up, of course, bring it up to Star Wars Racing standards. We have an old filter here, so we're gonna use that. We also have the connector to put the aftermarket in there. So where is that? Is it here? I thought I put it here. So here's some of the other parts. But yeah, we got a connector for it. So that's the other thing, keep parts around, because sometimes you'll have to mix and match, right? So I think it's going to be a perfect case here. We're going to take this connector, put it here, and we should have a working part. These things new could be expensive, or if you buy an even used, could be probably 100, 150 bucks. So obviously we'll clean this up too, and at some point we'll test it, not immediately. So again, that's kind of what's going on here. I'm spraying everything that looks corroded with some WD-40. You know, this platform here was old stuff. Again, just double checking hoses. This guy right here was all crackles. You know, we have one here, so just put a new one in there. We'll clean that up too. And some fuses missing. So, you know, we'll go little by little. You know, first kind of take things out. Obviously, I'm gonna clean that next. And then little by little, you know, pull things out, double check hoses, things like that, replace them. I plan to do that with a lot of the smaller hoses. You know, make sure everything's okay before we even try to start it. I have to get the oil out of this engine as well. Even though I think it's new oil, but I think it's been sitting for a while. So it's new old oil. It's old new oil. I don't know. So yeah, we'll probably just do a few more things like that here. Do this cleaning, clean this stuff up for today. You know, again, probably trying to put in, I don't know, hour and a half to 2. Probably take the decals off just to do something productive, right? What else? Here's the air intake. Already took that out. You know, we're gonna clean that out. That's pretty dirty inside as well. Yesterday I took the parts out. You know, just gave a very, very quick just wipe down. There's a lot of oil here. The differential was sitting here, so it was dripping oil. So there's still a little bit there. So just, you know, little by little. Not gonna do too much in the inside yet. We're gonna focus on making sure the car starts. Right, here's some of the parts over here now. So so yeah, you know, little by little. Here's another hose. This hose is missing here, the hose for the radiator. So anyways, so that's what's happening here at the shop. We'll keep going, and then we'll report on the progress tomorrow. There we go. Project 88, Star Wars Racing Incorporated.